Hi, this is Kathy Robbins. I want to welcome you to the Getting Started training, and I want to congratulate you on joining MXI. I know sometimes when we start a new business, we have some fears and we're a little uncertain, particularly if you've never been in network marketing. You might be sitting there thinking, gee, I don't know what I've gotten myself into. I'm not sure I can do this. And I want to assure you those feelings are normal and that we have a lot of information for you here at the Global Partners Group site that will help you build your business. And there are a lot of people here to support you. So sit back and I want you to just listen to this. This is going to give you kind of an overview of where we're heading. So in terms of getting started, you've come to the right place. The globalpartnersgroup.com site is your basic site for training. This is a site put together by our organization. It will have all of our trainings. If you have not yet registered, what you're seeing is just a very small part of the site. Once you register, which is a tab down the left-hand side, a lot more things will open up to you on the site. And as you move up the ranks, more and more becomes available to you. So this is a really great place for you to start. There is a blog on the site where we update things regularly. We communicate with our people not only through the back office email, but we also communicate through Twitter and through Facebook. So all of those things, if you're into social media, you can click those tabs on the site. And otherwise, you can watch the blog. We are pretty good at keeping you up to date. When you get to that Getting Started tab, as you have found, you will see this training, but you will also see a checklist. And that checklist is important in terms of your making sure you follow all of the things that you need to do to get started right. And you can use the online checklist, but we encourage you to download and print out the checklist that's available for you so that you can actually check things off as you complete them, kind of like a to-do list. And if I've sponsored you and you are having difficulty with something, I'm going to say to you, okay, well, pull out your checklist and let's see, have you done this? Have you completed this? Have you finished this? So that I can see where we might find the answer to our challenge. So the checklist is very important. It is your starting point. Now, within about the first 48 hours, you're going to want to meet with your sponsor, either in person or on the phone or online. And during that, they're going to review the checklist with you. Make sure you understand everything on that. They're going to review the starter kit, which they should have given you when they sponsored you. They're going to discuss your goals, they're going to set an action plan, and they should review your back office with you. And the reason that your sponsor should have given you a starter kit and a business builder manual as soon as you enroll is so that you can get off to a quick start. And what happens is when your order comes in from MXI, you can give the new starter kit back to your sponsor, they put it back in their inventory, and then they use it for the next person. So we all try to keep a few of the starter kits on hand. The Business Builder Manual is a manual that we wrote for our organization and the rest of the people in MXI that want to use it. And the purpose of that manual is to give you in writing a reference guide on how to build our business. Now, in the checklist that's online and in the starter kit, there is a brochure called Your First 48 Hours in Shosai. Now, if you are in a country where you don't have a starter kit, that's not a problem because this can be downloaded directly from the Getting Started tab. And you can go through that, look at it, and go through it exactly as if it was in your starter kit. And the purpose of this was to just give people kind of a basic idea of how to get started really quickly. And I want to just look at a couple of the highlights of this. For example, you want to commit to treating your MXI business as a business and not a hobby. You know, one of the disadvantages to network marketing is that we can come in so inexpensively. Now, it's also one of the advantages. But a lot of times, if you think about it, you come into this business for a couple cases of chocolate or 6 cases of chocolate or even 12 cases of chocolate, which let's say costs you $1,500 or so. That's not a lot of money to start a business. And so a lot of times what happens to us is we start our business and then life kind of gets in the way, and a couple of weeks pass and we haven't done anything, and then a couple more weeks pass, and it is easy to kind of put it on the back burner. If you had, on the other hand, bought a franchise and spent $250,000 or $500,000 for that franchise, okay, you probably wouldn't put that on the back burner. I bet you'd listen to the trainings, and I'll bet you'd read the manuals, and I'll bet you'd make sure that you did something every day to build that business. And what most people fail to understand is you can make a lot more money in a business like this than you could ever make owning a franchise. But we don't put the time and the effort into it. The other thing that you need to do is to commit time to build the business. It's rare that a business builds overnight. And so if you can imagine that, you have time at the top half of this and money at the bottom. And in the very beginning, you're going to put a lot more time for very little money. But if you do this right and you stick with it, what will happen is, as time goes on, you can put less and less time and make more and more money. Because what we are building is something called residual income. But what is so unfortunate is that most people quit about right here. Most people quit before they're just about to reach that point where the numbers are going to shift for them, and they're going to begin to earn more money for less time. So I really, really encourage you to take the time. If you can imagine, I mean, most of us spend 4 years in college making no money. In fact, paying somebody. I did that. I paid somebody for 4 years to teach me a career that when I left the college and went into teaching, I made $7,200 a year. Now, this was a lot of years ago. But I mean, I spent all that time and all that money, to make very little money. And yet people come to us where there is unlimited income potential, and 90 days or 120 days later say, well, this just isn't working for me because I'm not making a lot of money. Well, it's going to take some time, but I will tell you it will be well worth it if you can hang on and stick with it. The other thing that this item shows you is it talks about a cycle of duplication. That you are going to identify your team. Who do you want to work with you? You're going to learn how to talk to them about the business. You're going to learn how to follow up. You'll learn how to enroll them in the business. And then you'll learn how to duplicate your efforts and plug them into everything that's going on. And as you look through this, understand that this is just an overview. This training, the Business Builders training, some of the other videos on our site, all of our calls, all of this begins to build in depth, layer upon layer, on how this works. This is really a pretty simple business. We do kind of the same things over and over with different people, but it isn't easy. It is a business where you have to work.